for it. Hey, it's Sebastian for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I'm joined by
Eric Ganz from Charlotte. How we doing, folks?
418 is a brilliant album. Can you tell us the ideas and inspirations behind this work of art, and when is it due to be released?
Good question, Seb. Thanks for asking. So to start with, 418 itself is a numerological equation that represents, well, let me say this. The answer to this equation is repeatedly and exclusively shown on the cover image. The concept, briefly put, is, how should I say this? It's a man's penchant for advancement and stability amongst the chaos. That's probably one thing that I had in mind. We have fast changing times that we're all in right now, as I'm sure we'd agree. Those of us that have been around longer probably think they're going a little faster than everyone else, I'm sure. So yeah, the concept of the album was basically an expression of man's will to advance and survive. But again, there is an exact number that the title represents through an equation, but that's the homework for the viewers. I'm not going to give that away. It's on the album cover, but the concept for the album is there.
Brilliant. So Pretty Things is a killer upbeat tune. How pleased are you so far with the feedback from media and fans?
Pretty Things is doing really well. It's funny because that was and to answer your other question, I apologize. The release, it was supposed to be October, and then we messed with everyone's minds and we said December. I think it's going to be beginning of January, the new year, we're going to kick it off. But we do have the single out, and I did want to share some music with people, so we're glad. Pretty Things, it's funny, it was the Forgotten Child. It was the last song selected to be on the album.
Right.
I was unsure, not for any other reason other than, stylistically would it match? That was my question I had for myself. So I had been playing it in and around different circles, and everyone that heard it, who is this? What is this? Where is this from? They were, everyone loved the song. So, and I just realized, okay, this is a crowd pleaser, and I love it, and the guys like it. So we decided to include it on the album. Yeah.
So going to the band, then, is it all the original lineup still with Charlotte?
So as everybody knows, and I want to start with a small tribute here. Since we spoke, I don't know, maybe we talked about it before, but this is the first recording since we've spoken, and I got to reiterate, our drummer Eric Bruton passed away a few years ago, several years ago now, and so he's no longer with us. But it is myself and Vinny and Nick that did all the work here. We have studio musicians helping out with the other. And when we go live, we also have musicians in place for that scenario. But yes, original members, myself, Vincent Cacciati and Nick DeBacco, my guitarist extraordinaire. Those guys are they're not mine. They're their own. I'm blessed to have them on my team, and they did a great job. So it is us three. Vinny and I did most of the producing. And we had help in that regards as well. So it was a good team of people that came together to do this. And yeah, those three original members plus some studio guys, we got it done.
Brilliant. Can you tell us any ideas behind two songs, specifically Miss Necrophilia, 100 miles per hour?
I'll start with 100 miles per hour because that's the easy one. If you ever get into a car with me, Seb, I don't think, geographically speaking, you and I probably won't be in a vehicle together anytime soon. But if you do, you're going to find out really quickly, how fast this guy likes to drive. It's really all that. I have a penchant for driving extremely fast. I enjoy the hell out of it, and it hasn't changed. So I was driving around one day like that, and I thought of the title, and the song just came about. There's no mystery to it at all, that one.
Right.
Miss Necrophilia. We've gotten interesting thing about this song is it technically is a remake. This is the second time we've recorded the song.
Right.
With very few changes. As a matter of fact, speaking of musicians, a real quick aside, what we did with that song in honor of the late Eric David Bruton is take his drum track and through digital and studio musician reworkings, emulated almost to the exact lick. So he's on there. He's on there in spirit.
That's cool.
Yeah, we Eric, your blessing. We modernized it a little, but so that song has been around, and since it has been around, and I'm going to say, that was the early '90s, mid '90s, and since that has been around, it has definitely garnered a lot of attention. Its symbolism, it's I was really happy to get this one on this album because it's the subject matter, I would say, is more relevant today than it was when I wrote it. It was all about the media primarily and how they played on human obsession, primarily life and death and sensationalism and what. And that's really what the song was about. So I kind of romanticized the whole dilemma, and we have our friend Miss Necrophilia. But yeah, when the song is taken literally, I guess it could turn a few heads. I don't know.
Right, man.
Everyone else to decide, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it might be your Slayer's Dead Skin Mask, sort of thing.
I do like the dark, but I don't spend much time around cemeteries. So.
All right, that's good to know. All right, man. So you've been in the music scene a long time, and the world has changed so much, especially with the internet and now AI. What are your feelings on this monstrosity? I see it some other. I see it as scary.
It is scary. I'm going to touch on this subject in a few ways. As a composer, I'll share with you and the public if I haven't before. I'm obviously in the music business. I'm also in the film business. I have been now for quite some time. And with that business, part of my work involves composing for film studios, television studios, commercials, whatever it be, internet.
Yeah.
This is where I personally see the biggest threat because that's a lot of my work. And if you can, have a substitute intelligence system come in and do that work for me, which I know it can do at this point, we all do. That's pretty scary for us composers. We all know there was just that great Hollywood film strike. That definitely affected me personally with film and music work. I backed the actors. I understand. We do need to find some kind of balance here. With music, I want to recite a case that took place this August this year in a district court in Washington, in our lovely home country of the USA. The case involved a gentleman who owns an AI network, I guess we want to call it, a system. Yeah. It created a piece of art and he wanted to copyright the art. The judge's ruling ultimately was that this form of AI without any form of human authorship was not eligible for copyright. So the woman was not granted his copyright. And his defense was, if the AI can be perceived as an authorship in its own right, then why would it not be counted? So really now what I'm seeing, and I think many others are, is the issue becomes human authorship. Let's face it, we've accepted machines in our music for a long time now. Think about it. Going back to especially when the 80s came around, everything got, very, what do you call it, economical based, we started they started using machines for drums back then. Go back to the 60s and 70s, and we have synthesizers. All this music and then on up through the 90s until today. So machines and music is nothing new.
No.
Again, I think it comes down what we're dealing with is human authorship. So and it's funny because the judge ruled that there's no human element to it. So what are we talking about here? You know, what kind of intelligence is this? How long has it been around?
Yeah.
Maybe we are the artificial ones, you know. So it starts to make you think about all this stuff, but not only vocationally, but spiritually and on a human level. So how it affects the music business is it's going to turn things because the speed at which it works, first of all. But you know, they settled the strike, the actors at least, and their personalities won't be stolen at least time soon.
Yeah.
But that's what we're looking at. You know, I think the balance is to recognize the authorship, and then the money's going to go to the copyright owner. So if this gentleman somehow wins his case one day, well, he'll get the money for the copyright ownership, and the AI will be credited for the art. That's where we're going with it. And you know, then you talk about live performance. Well, can't replace us humans, right?
No.
Who knows? Who knows?
Doing that with
you know, and I think part of it is we do need to embrace it. I know it seems like the devil, but if you know, the more you push back, it's going to push back on us. So embrace it and just keep it close. And remember the human authorship. If we can base the copyright laws around that concept, then we should be able to work in harmony with the AI. If not, and if the powers that be someday decide, hey, look, we can't use it anymore, then, you know, unfortunately, we're going to have to accept that, Seb. And then we'll go out and play live more. I don't know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then the other aspect hitting music now that I worry about is the aspect of limitations on speech and what is acceptable. And look, you know, we're artists. We're not out to, you know, we're inclusive people. This is about observation and giving everyone an outlook that we see is fit when we write our songs and our lyrics. It's you know, it's not personal. It's a form of expression. And if we start really digging into, well, you can't say this though, you can't say that, you're going to offend this one, offend that one. I really fear that is going to not only keep writers inside of a sort of a box where they're anxious about what they're writing, but it's just going to limit the pure form of expression.
Of course,
and we need to understand that, you know, we're all human and everyone's different. Everyone wants their peace of mind and their personal rights. Art is not about that. Art goes beyond, it transcends all that. So we really have to be careful not to let these guidelines that govern social situations seep too much into our artwork. We need to remind people that, you know, we're all in it together and this is just an expression. So that's another thing that I fear. And
well, wokeness and political correctness is a plague, isn't it? It's horrendous. It's just like
it's
not fun.
It really is. It's because it becomes the snake that eats its own tail. It's like now you've gone so far with it that, you know, ironically, it's being done back to everyone else. You know, can't say this, can't say that. I don't know. Me personally, it is. And me personally, and as far as Charlotte goes, we don't have any hangups as far as people and you know, organizations and groups and whatever everyone wants to believe. That's the beauty of America. That's the beauty of this world. We're supposed to be able to share differences and work things out and meet in the middle somehow. So, you know, we'll see how that goes, though.
Absolutely. All right, mate. So going back to the album then, are there plans to go out on tour with it? And would you be thinking about doing live streaming of some of your shows?
We would definitely live stream any shows that would happen. Right now, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. I know I'm doing local gigs. I get involved on the scene. I go upstate and you know, I'm doing some solo guitar gigs, which is a lot of fun being a front man. I always got teased for not knowing how to play guitar well is my guess. So,
Right.
it's good to get out there doing that. But as far as Charlotte goes, yeah, we are talking about it at the moment. Just got in touch with old friend of ours who played with us a couple times in LA. He was also a friend of our former drummer, Eric, and he's agreed to jump on as our drummer. So right now, follow us on Instagram. Stay tuned. We'll start announcing dates. It would start out west. We definitely want to get out there with this material. Yeah, it sounds like the guitar players, if we get the 3 core guys to agree on some dates, and a time frame, then we'll go from there. We have the other musicians in place. So yeah, Instagram, Charlotte Rock Band, Instagram, follow us. You'll see dates.
Brilliant. With the album, excuse me, you planning to just release that on digital and CD, or you're going to hopefully get it on vinyl? Is that going to cost too much?
I would love to get it on vinyl. It is costly. We'll start with CD. But to have it digital, obviously, is here, let me fix that shine in my
Yeah, I know. This in here, the light makes me look like I've got fucking lipstick on. Don't know what the... Anyway, carry on.
I did have lipstick on. I think it wore off though.
All right, yeah, all right.
Pretty for this thing. No, I'm a light man, so I should know. You probably just want to lower your key light. Maybe you get it, on the forehead there.
That's better. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. The last question was what? Say again.
I've forgotten. I've forgotten what it was.
It was, we were talking about playing.
That's done.
I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
No,
come back to me. Oh yeah, if it's going to be on vinyl. No.
Vinyl. So, so I'd like to. I think a lot of people. I mean, vinyl is awesome.
Come back as well.
Such a great, not just the nostalgia of it, but the format of it, to have this 12-inch disc and bigger than life,
Yeah, man.
But everyone's buying it now.
See the prices, though. You've seen the prices; it's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, the production is the overhead is a bit different than going with it. But CD is still accessible. A lot of people still like that hard copy. No, we're finding less use for it. Again, the machine is taking over.
Okay. I know.
But yeah, I'm looking into the vinyl, but right now it's just digital. But it would be CD first, and then vinyl would be a bonus. I got to be honest.
Cool. But going back to machines again, I've always said I don't understand these people that have they never watched Terminator. Do you know what I mean? It's true, isn't it?
It's funny you bring that up. Recall the show X-Files, the sci-fi.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they had that reboot back not long ago. It was just 2016, and then they did another one. There's a video going viral right now that is a clip of the first episode, I believe, from the 2016 season, and they're talking about things that happened 4 years after that, going back to 2020. It's uncanny how you almost think the writers of the show were talking to the powers that be and saying, all right, you guys are the messenger, let everybody know, because this wild shit's going to fucking happen no matter what.
Yeah. It's crazy, mate. Yeah.
It's crazy how it came true. All this, it's funny because science fiction has actually always had a way of predicting the future. I mean, James Bond, didn't he have a cell phone like 90 years ago or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So.
Okay, then some fun questions now then. So what superpower would you choose for yourself for a day?
All right, Seb, I knew you were going to go there with some of these. Funny, I actually just told a friend of mine, I said, if I had a superpower right now, it would be my perception of others, because I watch and I listen to everything. It's funny because these days maybe listening by modern standards could be considered a superpower. It seems not enough people know how to just basically listen. That's an unconventional power right there.
Yeah.
By default. If I had to pick one, just by old comic book standards, which one would I like?
Yeah.
I like the invisibility factor.
I sort of guessed you'd say that. So would I.
Are you in there, man? You don't get caught in there, dude. You're gonna
Yeah,
get stuck.
no. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
I know.
flying's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
But flying, I feel like I've already done on
Yeah.
my own. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm not kidding. So back in LA, when the band was at their peak, you know, we used to have a lot of. I was telling another friend this story. We used to have a lot of parties on the rooftop of these, you know, we were 6, 7-story, 8-story buildings, and I said, yeah, you know, we'd all get to party in, and the bands would get, you know, different bands there, friends,
Yeah.
gathering of rock and rollers, and all now, you know, starting to get ornery with each other. The more drinks, the bands
Yeah.
start getting, you know, a little competitive. So I would just pull out the showstopper and literally just say, all right, you know, whoever's got the bravado, the gumption, the bravery, follow me. And I would run as fast as I could. I'd first get my launch place, you know, but I'd run as
Yeah.
fast as I could and hurl myself off the building onto the next building,
No way.
shortly called rooftop jumping. So, and
Yeah.
it did feel like I was flying, and I'm not exaggerating. It probably wasn't the smartest activity I've done in my life, but it was certainly exhilarating, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, flying thing, I think I've got down
Amazing.
in
Amazing.
my own. So yeah, I'll go with the invisibility,
You
my
still do
friend.
that now then? Would you still do it now?
No. I'm still really fast. I'm fast as a motherfucker. I can run
Yeah.
like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But the jumping thing, I think I put the wings away.
Yeah, mate. No worries. All right, Em. So the next one,
Yes, sir.
sort of similar. If you had one day left to live, how would you spend it?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I could think of some funny things to say. Well, hold on. Can I split it in half?
Yeah.
So I think I'd spend half of it listening to, you know, what I consider for me the most amazing music. I would listen to the best classical music. I would listen, you know, I'd listen to Beethoven. I'd listen to Tool. I'd
Yeah.
listen to everything. Then I'd have a big plate of bacon and eggs. And after I was done with that, I would just drink beer and talk into a camera and try to teach everyone what I've learned up to that point. Then I'd say goodbye.
Oh, that's sweet. That's cool. That's
Pretty good, right? I mean, you know, it's
yeah.
well, I'd want to give back. I'd want to
Yeah.
take, but I definitely would want to give back.
Cool. All right, Em. Next one then. What was the last song you listened to today?
The last song I listened to today, well, like I said, when we started the interview, I was actually playing some soundtrack from the Batman movies, the Christopher Nolan directed. But that doesn't really count as a song. So the last song I listened to today, what was it? Wasn't one of ours. I think I'd have to go back to last night. I was listening to Tool. I had Tool Invincible on from the album of the same name, right? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
one of my favorites. Mm-hmm.
you know Chris Doherty? I can never say his name. Chris Doherty? Chris Doherty?
Chris Doherty.
Yeah.
Doherty.
He's
Yeah.
Batman, man. He's Batman, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, we all have Batman within us.
I've interviewed him. I've interviewed him.
Hey, man, I like that tattoo. I didn't see the tattoo until just now. Sorry.
His place is like full of fucking Batman stuff, and it's like, I'm like, are you Batman? I'm Batman. But, oh, that one, that's an old tattoo. Yeah, but sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So let me elaborate. Let me ask you to elaborate on that. So when you say his place is full of Batman stuff, what do you mean? Like gadgets?
Like Batman shit, like I don't know, like figurines and things and masks and all this, all the collectible
Batman.
stuff, all the collectible stuff and that. And so
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He's in such a what do you call it, honorary state that he might be the
Well, he
Batman.
could be, mate. He could be.
Yeah.
It says
Well, it's funny because when we do the film work, I'm involved with grip and lighting when I'm doing music, and let me tell you, it's fantastic work. And one of the things we love about it is all the gadgets and to repurpose things at any time. And you start feeling like Batman because he's got the coolest shit, man, that guy.
Can you give me 2 words to describe Charlotte? Just the 2.
2 words to describe Charlotte.
Yeah.
Unconventional and free-spirited.
Epic. All right. So next one. If there was a song about yourself, what would it be called?
I'm lost.
All right, I've tried to mix the questions up a little bit from last time. So now it's
Sure.
going to be 5
Just
questions.
don't ask me that pizza and beer question. I had nightmares about that. Remember that one?
I know.
This dude asked me pizza or beer. I will never forget that. Not only was it hysterical, but it really messed with my head for a while. Go ahead, sir. Next question. Sorry.
All right, so it's fast 5 questions. So the first thing that comes into your head then. So your favorite album.
I'm sorry. 5 questions and the first answer that pops in?
Yeah, favorite album.
Favorite album. There's nothing popping in right now. Hang on. Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet. It's one of them. Definitely.
Okay. Favorite drink.
This beer that's right next to me.
What beer is that anyway? Is it?
I have a Stella Artois. I'm a big fan of Stella.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, I want to get an endorsement. Actually, I think I should have one.
You should go to Belgium where it's made. They do a drink called Jupiler. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
And what is it?
Jupiler is similar to Stella. I mean, Stella Artois make it. Stella Artois make it, but it's like it's a bit weaker. Gorgeous.
Okay. Oh, sounds lovely, man.
It's gorgeous, man. Okay, so the next one, favorite food.
Say again.
Your favorite food? You're gonna say pizza.
Anything Mexican. I love Mexican food. Burritos, tacos. I know it's all the same stuff, kind of rearranged, but I think they get very creative with the toppings and the fillings, and I just love the spice and the meat and all the vegetables blended together. Texture, everything. Mexican food. Anything.
Couldn't agree more, mate. Okay, then. So your favorite pastime.
My favorite pastime, honestly, just playing my guitar, and I'd say I like to write. You know, I'm a writer, so I'm a lyricist, and I love to write all the time. So we'll go with writing.
Awesome. And the final question is your favorite inspirational person.
My favorite inspirational person. I might be repeating an answer that I've used with you before, but definitely pops into my head. One, Friedrich Nietzsche, an old Austrian philologer.
Yeah.
He used to analyze philosophies and break them down into his own little anecdotes and equations. But yeah, definitely that, and Keith Richards.
Cool. All right, mate. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
My cat's not appeared. So I don't know what's going on.
Should I go get mine to make an appearance?
I think you got 5 minutes.
I got 5 minutes?
4 minutes.
I'll be back in 10 seconds.
All right, man. No worries. Tabitha. Babs. Tabitha, where are you? Hey. Tabitha. This is a poor show. Where are you? Tabitha.
All right. So I know that our man Seb Di Gatto here is a cat guy. You there? All right.
I've done a few interviews. Oh.
This is my guy.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, look at yeah.
Yeah, this is Tabitha.
So, this is, what's your guys' name?
Tabitha.
This is Booger.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I think I just woke him up. So he's usually a little more rambunctious than this, but he is my dog.
Yeah.
That appears to be a cat. That's
same with mine. Yeah, this one.
You know what I mean? When I walk in the door, he runs up to me.
Yeah.
He'll fetch things for me. I know cats are prone to do that sometime. All right, he's on the move, so we're going to let him go.
This one does that as well sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch a cat do that, because not all of that. It's obviously more trainable in that sense, but
yeah.
So that was Booger.
I'm glad everyone gorgeous bus cat.
That's not a what kind of cat? It's not a Mancoon. It's a little less hairy. What kind of cat is that? Or
it's just a Moggy. So it's just a typical Moggy. We used to have Bengal cats when my wife was alive. We had 2 Bengals. But now I've just got like little Tabitha, but she's tiny. And I've got Dio, he's miserable. He's around somewhere, but he's an old man now. He's a miserable.
But yeah, age gracefully.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, like I said, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening. It was great to chat to you again. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Help get on our social media. Our Instagram needs some attention. Charlotte Rock Band is the handle. We use that handle for everything.
Right.
Charlotte's a name that's been around for a while. It's also the name of a few female artists and everything. So Charlotte Rock Band is our official tag.
Right.
And I think I'm happy to share that with you guys to get that out there. Other than that, be happy, everyone, day by day.
Something comes along, kills you with its smile, chokes you with its